What is going on? I'm Zedmont. We are on Warships, but we got to jump out of there, go in to the shop, double check that code Zedmont is in there. Now, code Zedmont is world famous suddenly. We'll talk about that in a second. First, I need to keep this Sculptor going. A bunch of you were asking yesterday how I have 6,000 shards. It's by being lazy. That simple. I am working on the engraver. That is my number one priority and where all my shards are going, which has kind of rewarded my laziness, to be honest. Anyways, jumping into Warships, where I am famous is I was interviewed by Gamerland on Medium.com. Now, Medium.com drives me a little bit crazy with its pop-ups and stuff, but you can get rid of those. So Gamerland is just a little boy who is interviewing people from the Supercell community. That's their description, not mine. I didn't meet them in person. They sent over some very, very well thought out questions. And I gotta be honest, they were tough to answer. Some of them overlapped a little bit, and I had to be careful not to get them to overlap, so I would love you guys to go check that out. I will put a card somewhere. Where is that card button that I can never find? Somewhere up in about that neighborhood, so please do go check it out. Let me know what you think. Leave them comments. Follow them on Twitter or X or whatever the heck you want to call it, and would love to hear your thoughts. Super, super uncomfortable. I didn't want to trash Supercell, but wanted to get the details across, didn't want to be... Anyways, let me know what you think. I think I did not bad, and it was uncomfortable, which is a good way to start 2025, I suppose, doing new things. And speaking of new things, trying to create segues. So I went and got the hot pot. I know a lot of people went and got that right there, getting into that troop building health instead. But I figured what people are doing here is they're like sending their troops either like from this side over to this way, or they're sending their troops from this side over to this way, and then they're getting their heroes or their bombardiers or whatever the heck they are, and they're sending them back that way, and they're getting decent times as a result. So by adding the hot pot, I figured gave them something else to figure out, something else to time. You can just ignore the shock launcher and all of these defenses if you have the meat shield, but you can't ignore the hot pot. It will melt you if you come close enough. I also moved my boom cannon from there to there because then it sits in behind. Most people are coming this way, and then they get rid of the boom cannon and they just kind of like sit in like this neighborhood with nothing shooting them by clearing out these defenses. So by moving the boom cannon behind the last engine room up there, it slows them down a little bit, and I've forced a few people to fizzle. So as a result, managed to get into 23 last night. Pretty happy with that. I always love beating people with names like So Easy. It just rubs me the wrong way a little bit. Maybe when they beat you, it feels extra bad, but beating them feels extra good. So I guess the karma goes both ways. I fizzled bad. If you are a 6 engine room player, I'm assuming this is a 6 engine room player. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Is this a 5? No, this is a 6. So if you're a 6, go 7 right away, like straight to 7. As you can see here, we're not doing anything but just rushing through this base with battle orders and with heavy choppas. Yes, I am still using 2 boats of those heroes or squad leaders or whatever the heck you want to call them, because they have a lot of goodness. Now, this is the only little thing I did there. Threw a flag back because otherwise that squad leader was going to be the first one to hit those boom mines, and we didn't want that because it would have slowed us down by a few seconds. Otherwise, they fizzled, and I won by 2 seconds to get into 23. So I kept getting very close to 23, and I've heard from a couple of you out there, Ultra Tony, for example, who keep getting close to 23. You got this. You can do it, as the Water Boy once said. So my next unlock, I think, is going to be that node right now. But right now, every single unlock takes 16 hours. So A, you have some time to think about it, and B, if you make a mistake, it's gonna hurt you. So lots of players out there that went heavy choppas first, before building health, got into 23. I had to wait a little bit, and it hurt, but just trying to plan these things out. And honestly, troop health is really... I just need some more offense. Right now, The heavy chopper boost is not going to do a heck of a lot for us. It's the heavies we need to boost. So I need to either slow them down, which is going to be this, or to speed myself up, which is going to be the troop health or bombardiers. And there have been some very cool bombardier hits. Do I have a fast one here? Sadly, no. There's one person who beat my base in 2 minutes 37 or something like that. I'll show you a 2-minute hit, and it's just the same thing. Them doing the same thing with heavy choppers and squad leaders, and then just walking through this. And that shock underneath there with that doom cannon and critter launcher is painful. And the fact that they managed to get my critter launcher with my hot pot isn't super perfect. And you see how they're splitting off their squad leaders. So a couple of you were asking why people aren't doing all heavy choppers by getting the GBE node, and that's why right there. The fact that you can send your troops down low is just so good. I love that squad flare. I like it a lot. I'm going to lose some battles for you here. We've already covered all of the details that I had planned to go over. Artillery definitely appealing to me. The fact that we could get rid of the sky shield maybe, but that's a lot of GBE as well. Laser Rangers also appealing, but for me at this point in the season, for Laser Rangers to work, I think that I need all of this troop health. Without Kavan, like Brick's they're just gonna die. And it's not gonna be super duper great. So if you're leaning towards Laser Rangers, make sure that you have Kavan, I think, or the 100% troop health. It just doesn't work terribly well otherwise. So for me, I really, really want, from a gameplay fun standpoint, to get the troop health, but that 30% building health is probably better. And if you haven't gotten it yet, there is still way, way, way back here this super, super cheap building health, which is behind the useful heavy boost as well. So go get that. It's super cheap. Anyways, hopefully that covers lots of stuff for you. We are going to do a couple live hits, and we're going to lose the win streak, but maybe we'll go up. Just a reminder, as soon as I hit 23, this comes to mind every single time. 23 means I get to start at rank 13, which means the rest of the season is gravy. There's only 5 days left. I know that's a lot of time, really, but it's also not a lot of time at the same time. Time keeps on ticking. Someone got that song lyric reference. Anyways, let's go. As soon as my brain turns off and we get into that could we park now kind of mode, I definitely go into some lulls, but we're going to pick this up. We are going to pick up a win here, and this is the standard. You see this right here? Shock launcher, doom cannon, critter launcher underneath the sky shield, and we don't care about that whatsoever. We're just going to drop on this right hand side with our meat shield out front, because anytime that you get your meat shield in behind, bad things happen, and we don't want to lose any heavy choppers. We can get some of those guys shot in the face, but if your heavy chopper goes down, you end up losing in the neighborhood of like 6, 8, 10 heavies, something like that, depending on how early it gets shot down. So you really, really, really don't want that to happen. Also, you don't want your squad leader to hit any of those boom mines. That is why we send that meat shield on ahead. And now, I am just going to clear this back section. It's not going to be the fastest way to get this done. I am fully aware. But anytime we get near this center section, what I want to do is I want to make gosh darn sure that we get some of our... You know what? This is what we're going to do. We're going to send you back in here. We're going to send you in there as well, and we're just going to let those back guys do all of their work as we try to get all of our important troops down underneath this goodness. So our heavy dude is coming. Our Zuka dude is also en route, and as a result, we're going to try our darndest to get rid of that Doom Cannon, speeding things up a teeny tiny bit as we throw a shock on this sniper tower, because if we don't, it's going to completely and utterly obliterate us. So now we've got troops going towards that left-hand side. We've got our Zuka fan going towards that right. Let's get some shocks out, because those critter launchers do slow us down a teeny tiny bit, and we definitely don't want those critters to kill our Zuka fan. Left-hand side going strong. Right-hand side, Zukafan looking great. And now, do I have enough GBE to do this? Yes, I do. We're going to flare there and then flare there, just to get our Zukafan onto that engine room as the rest of our troops get going. We are probably going to lose, but we're going to end up with a time of about 151, which, generally speaking, you need to be above 2 minutes to have any chance of winning. And Vegetarian Pig, a fantastic name, has taken my base down. And that's probably the third fastest time I've seen against this base. So maybe things have changed. Haven't attacked anyone in like 12 hours or whatever the heck it was. So Vegetarian Pig picking up that win. And do I dare? Let's just double check the health of that Sky Shield. It has too much health to artillery. Let's not even consider that. I'm not going for artillery. We do have barrage as well, and we have the tokens. So if we went for artillery and barrage, we could speed things up, but I'm going to do the dumb thing here. We're going to end up with all of it, and that's a bad excuse for just making choices randomly, but I'm going for the troop health. I'm just finding that I think that's probably, like, this would be, I'm doing it. Whatever. We're just going to impulse purchase. I'm going for it. We're going to max out that troop health. We'll see if that speeds us up at all. And worst case, you can look at me and say, Zed, thanks for jumping on the grenade. I will not be making that mistake. I went to bad choice with the building health instead of the heavy choppas. And then I went good choice with the hot pots over the building health. And now we're going to see where this next one puts us. So no critter launchers. This should be much, much, much faster. I should be able to get 2 minutes 10 here, I would assume. We're just going to do the same thing, getting all of this stuff out. Notice that I do delay Brick and the Zukafan. Leaving them till last is generally a very, very good idea, just to make gosh darn sure that your troops stay alive. And now we're just going to get all of this stuff, trying to keep those heavy dudes alive. And now I'm going to send you back there and you onto there, just to try to get some form of a split. These are the kind of splits that I was talking about early on, and just getting one shock at the back so that Brick and the crew... Now, here's the thing. Sometimes Brick does exactly that. Brick turns towards the left, towards that flamethrower, and bad things happen. But look at this base. We can shock that Doom Cannon underneath there, keeping Brick alive, keeping our crew alive. Back section being cleared quite well. I want to use a battle orders right now, but we are not going to do that until the fact that this stuff is down. So what I'm actually going to do here is flare over to like here. As soon as that shock launcher goes down, we're going to flare to like here, and then we're going to send you to there and you to there, and that way Brick and our gang can do her battle orders goodness, and all of this stuff will come in and hopefully take that engine room down as the rest of our troops make their way back here. So Zukafan doing good things, troops over here doing good things, and I told you we were going to be faster, just don't know quite how much faster. I called it 210 and we did a 214. So critter launchers do make a big difference, especially when they're underneath a sky shield. Hannibal 54, what did you do for us? You are going to get not fizzled, but watch the sniper tower. They do decent work. Now, would that Zukafan have died if I would have boosted my building damage? Probably not. Probably would have had like 20% health left. Plus all the other factors though. So we picked up the win, showing that critter launchers are good. Not sure if that actually showed that troop health is good or not. And I did cut out one awful attack in there. So just so you're wondering why I'm out of 23, even though I got a win and a loss, it's just me cutting out awfulness. And now we get this, and that's kind of like where I went troop health versus something else doesn't really matter. I'm going building damage. Again, let me know what you thought about that interview, if there was any questions that made you raise an eyebrow or maybe made you think, and also what you think about the order of these unlocks. I am in uncharted territory. I did not reach out to all of the brain trust or the smart people that I know, which is kind of stupid on my part, but just trying... I kind of start to phone it in when I hit 23, and it's a problem, and I'm working on it, but speaking of working on things, out of the comfort zone to do that interview, so go give Gamerland a follow, let them leave a comment on their Twitter or on their article, or right here on my YouTube comments. I'll talk to you soon. I'm Zadmont. Thanks for coming in. Peace.